Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 116th episode of the Retrotopia podcast. My name's Alan, and today we are going to reap what we sow as we talk about Harvest Moon, released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Perhaps the granddaddy of all farming simulators, this game really kicked off a whole slew of cozy, relaxing life simulators that still exists to this day, and we're going all the way back to the start to see how it all began. Now, if you're only interested in listening to the game chat, some Harvest Moon talk for you, then make sure your animals are all fed and your plants are all watered, and then just skip ahead about 25 minutes or so, and you'll get into the conversation about Harvest Moon. That said, we hope you stick around because we like to have some fun in the intros, talk to the Patreons, play some games, and all sorts. So before we get into any of that, though, I do need to get our plugs out of the way. Linktree/Retrotopia, that's linktr.ee/Retrotopia, where you can find all things Retrotopia, including our Discord, which we'd love to have you in, our tpublic/dashery page, where you can find some really stylish Retrotopia clobber to wear. Just make sure you're not farming while you wear it, because, you know, these things are too classy for wearing around the farm. Or do, up to you. You live your life and I'll live mine. You can find our Instagram, Facebook, all those other socials where you can go and like and share and all of that good stuff. And you can also find our Patreon. Now, our Patreon is, of course, free to join at the basic level, where you get early access to shows, you get to write into the show, you get to comment, you get to vote in polls, you get Retro Bites 15 days early with an extra topic on there, you get to listen to our mini review series Quick Play, which is always a good laugh. That's every 2 weeks, if I remember correctly. And just plenty to sink your teeth into there. Of course, we do have a paid tier for the hero tier level, which is $2 a month. You get access to our New Game Plus show. You also get to pick a game for a quick play, choose a host of your choice and get them to play and review a game for you. And as well as all the benefits available at the lower tier, of course, as well. So that's all that out the way, which leads us into the most elegantly cultural or culturally elegant, that's the first time I've fucked that up, the most culturally elegant section of the entire show. It is, of course, the 9-bit banter box. Alrighty, let's unpack the box and see what you guys had to say. First up, Brother Retro asks, Alan Boballen, what is your dream voice acting gig? With your talent, the sky should be the limit. Hope you had a wonderful holiday, my good sir. Thank you, Brother Retro. I did. It was delightful. All back to normal now, though. It's all over too quickly, of course, but we had a blast. I hope you did as well. And also, before I get into your question, you guys have gotten into this habit recently of giving us some interesting and colourful names. Alan Boballen, you're really playing with that. And you know what? I, for one, love it. Please don't ever stop, because that tickles me. What is my dream voice acting gig? I mean, it's no secret I like to make silly voices on the internet, for better or worse. It's fun, and I enjoy doing it. I would like to voice act one day, and ideally in a video game. I think that would be the ultimate dream there. I mean, what potential series? I mean, anything Star Wars I think would be really cool. Mass Effect, any future Mass Effect games. I don't even care if I'm a Conrad Werner sort of side NPC kind of character. It's just, just to see my name in the credits for something like that. Something so near and dear to me. But realistically, I think any video game, if I could see my name in the credits for any video game, I think I would consider myself a success. I don't care how small the part is. That would be the dream. I'm not fussy. Thank you, Brother Retro. Next up, Hooley's Pet Dinosaur says, so, Alan, if that is your real name, is there a childhood favourite TV show that you want to re-watch, but if you do, it just won't hit the same way as an adult? Um, God, that is a difficult question. And, maybe I'm biased, but I think that's tricky because, if you're as old as me, we like to look back favourably on our childhoods because, well, frankly, all the cartoons and TV shows were better back then. I don't care what anyone says. So it's hard to pick something that I watched as a kid that I don't think would hold up today, because I think it all holds up today. Like, I still watch shit like Tom and Jerry and Droopy and, God, all sorts. Any of the Looney Tunes, that shit still holds up today. You know what jumped into mind? It's maybe a bit of a niche pull. I was borderline obsessed with a show. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it, but Pirates of Dark Water. And back when I was a kid, I inhaled that series only to find out that it didn't ever end. I don't think we got a conclusion to the thing. And I just wonder if it kind of feels like a bit of a fever dream now, and I don't remember all that much about it. I just know that I was in love with that series. Pirates and the spooky dark water that would roll in and they'd have to escape from, and they had to go, what are they collecting, like gems or treasures or something to try and keep it at bay? It's been so long, and I just wonder, is that just... has it gained mythical status in my mind just because, it's kind of the one that got away? We never got any conclusion to that. And if I watched it now, would it actually be any good, or was there a reason that they just kind of dropped it? Inquiring minds want to know. Thank you, Hooli. So, New Year Yoshi, 94, says, Almanac, if you had a Retro Achievements account, what would be the first 5 games you would master? Don't have to be retail either. I'm not sure what you mean about the last bit there. Don't have to be retail, but I assume Retro Achievements is some kind of retroactive, basically achievements program for games that don't have them, like the old games. So it would have to be something that I'm pretty confident at. 5 games. I mean, Sonic 2, absolutely. I can play that game inside and out, so that would almost certainly... be worth getting the achievements on. Chrono Trigger, because that seems like the sort of game that the achievements would require multiple playthroughs, and I was planning to do that anyway, and have done, so I'd almost certainly have them all by now. What else? I'm just trying to think. How about Super Mario Land on the Game Boy, because I can beat that very easily. Gotta be a Zelda game in there. Probably Link's Awakening. I think that would be really fun to have achievements on. So what's that? 3, 4? I've lost count now. 1, 2, Chrono Trigger. Whatever else I said. Link to the Past. Oh, Mario, Link's Awakening. What else can I comfortably... that doesn't already have achievements? That's the rub. Because I can't say Castlevania Symphony of the Night, because that has updated releases and they have achievements on them, and I've already gotten all of those. I don't know. Resident Evil 2. Absolutely, because that is a game I know like the back of my hand, and I think I could get all the achievements of that very, very easily. Thanks for the head scratcher there, Yoshi. Shane's World says, what's your last game you beat in 2025, and what's your first game you're playing or have beaten this year? My last game of 2025 was Sonic the Hedgehog, and my first was Sonic the Hedgehog CD, which I beat for the first time ever. And Happy New Year, mate. Thank you very much. Last game I beat of 2025 was Harvest Moon for this very episode, in fact. So yeah, I snuck that in under the wire. And the first game I have beaten this year already is Metroid Prime 4, which I will probably, almost certainly, do a New Game Plus about, because I've got stuff to say about that game, and I think you'll enjoy hearing it. Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah, okay. Funnily enough, Sonic the Hedgehog CD was, I don't think it was the first game I beat 2025, but it was up there. It was like maybe the second or third game I beat in 2025. So that, of course, will feature in the list of games as I review all of the games that, or rank rather, all of the games that I completed in 2025. So look forward to finding out where that place is. I haven't figured it out yet, so I'm looking forward to finding out myself. The Big Deal says, Dear Alan, please rank your top 5 favourite Alans of all time. And yes, I will be asking Sam and Brian to do the same. So this will serve as a mini 5 by 5 by 5. Brilliant. Love it. Okay, so I thought about this. So, I mean, Alan Partridge is kind of a hilarious character. Alan Parrish from Jumanji, because he was played, of course, by Robin Williams, and God, I miss that man. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park, one of the original Alans I remember seeing on the big screen. So that was kind of a buzz when I was a young beardless child. Alan Tudyk, almost definitely. He is, if you've ever watched Serenity or Firefly, or literally, Dodgeball, fucking loads of stuff, and loads of things he's voice acted. He's brilliant. And of course, number one with a bullet has got to be the man himself, Alan Rickman. How could it be anyone else? Absolutely legendary actor, brilliant in every single film he was in, and he is sorely missed. So, rest in peace, my good man. Dave McGuinness says, Hello, Alan, you sexy British SOB. Happy New Year to you and the rest of Retrotopia, and all the best of the podcast in the upcoming year. Thank you, Dave McGuinness. That's very, very nice of you. Very, very nice message. And same to you. I hope you have a fantastic 2026. I hope it's even better than 2025, but not as good as 2027. Thank you very much. What else we got? Old Man Gamer says, So what character would you want to be from the Icewind Dale trilogy? I would want to be Wolfgar, as he was my favourite, just smashing orcs' heads with his hammer. Old Man Gamer, this question gave me a raging hard-on, because R.A. Salvatore is one of my favourite authors, and I am obsessed with the Drizzt series of books, so this tickled my pickle. Sidebar, Wolfgar probably has the best character development of any character in any series ever. All the stuff with, going to hell and coming back, and his dealing with that afterwards, just very well written. I mean, listen, I would like to say something cool like Drizzt. I mean, actually, my pick is very cool, because I'm going to pick Bruno Battlehammer. He's stout, he's bearded, he likes a beer, and, he once rode a dragon on fire down to the bottom of Garam's Gorge, and I don't think there's anything cooler than that, frankly. So yeah, I'm going to pick Bruno. And where are we? Finally, Philip, my mouth with farts, says, Hi Alan, my lovely British gentleman. Picture this, you're back in the 90s as a teenager and you just had a horrendous day at school. Fight with friends, failed test, couldn't understand something the teacher explained no matter how many times they tried. What song are you blasting in the car or your room to help you feel better? For me, it was Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit. Always helped me out screaming that song as I drove home from school. It's a good choice. Hard to argue with Break Stuff. It is one of the ultimate sort of anger venting party anthems. I think I'm going to go with something, because I do like my heavy metal and what have you. The first one that jumped to mind for me was Davidian by Machine Head, because that again is another call to arms, sort of fuck the world, very energetic, very angry, very cathartic song. So yeah, I'm going to pick Davidian by Machine Head. Thanks for all the question, guys. Absolutely fantastic. We've got to move on, though. Appreciate you as always. So we're going to move on to our Retrotopia game show, which is, of course, a choose one, lose one. Ladies and gentlemen, roll up and choose your power-up from the game of the week. You pick a power, we pick a consequence. It's choose one, lose one, the game where everyone's a loser. Okay, let's ruin some dreams here. First up, we have Big Brown Dog, who says, I would like the ability to turn on my TV and watch a weather report that is always 100% accurate for the next day. Done, Big Brown Dog. You automatically know what the weather is going to be for the next day. Unfortunately, it is always awful, dreadful, drizzly, cold, miserable, wet. In fact, you more or less live in the UK now, so enjoy your shitty weather forever. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious says, I would like the ability to survive without drinking water or eat food. Okay, you're now a tardigrade, and if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's this adorable tiny little water bear thing. It's microscopic, and it can survive without food or water and in some very harsh environments. So, being said, that might be more of a benefit than anything else. I don't know if I really ruined that. You get to just live a nice chill life as one of these little tardigrades. Actually sounds quite chill. I bet they don't pay taxes. Hooley's Pet Dinosaur says, I would like the ability to grow a plant and have it actually survive. Done. It's Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, and now you have to feed it the bodies of your neighbors and friends and family just to sustain it because, you want it to actually survive. So there you go. It's going to eat you in the end as well. New Year Yoshi 94 says, give me a shovel. Well, here you go. I just hit you in the face with a shovel. Enjoy. Super Dave says, I would like for there to be a magical pond with a harvest goddess who upgrades my tools into golden tools so long as I answer her questions honestly. I then melt down my tools into gold bricks and retire in luxury. Done. The problem is, word gets out and the entire village decide to do the same, so now everyone has golden tools that they're melting down, and the price of gold has plummeted. It's now almost worthless because supply has exceeded demand. And the problem is now there's a shortage of tools to actually do work around the farm because let's be honest, your golden tools, gold is pretty malleable. So that's going to be pretty useless around the farm. So you've just kind of bankrupted yourself there, Super Dave. Stupid Monkey says, I choose the ability to sleep a full night and feel rested. Buddy, you and me both. I don't even think I want to ruin that for you because I kind of want the dream as well. Um, Okay, you can sleep a full night and feel rested, but it has to be a full night, which means you have to go to sleep exactly at sundown and wake up exactly at sunup. And if you fail to do this, you will be twice as tired as before you went to sleep. So, very, very specific parameters for a full night there, and you are completely in control of when that happens. So, odds are against it, mate. But good luck to you. Dave McGuinness says, never played, but I'm assuming to build and fix things, so I would like the ability to fix my chicken coop so I can have chickens. There you go, yeah, you can fix your chicken coop and have chickens, except these are the chickens from The Legend of Zelda, and they're always on the attack. So I think we find you the next day completely pecked to death and covered in eggs. So delightful. Old Man Gamer says, I want the ability to grow fruits and vegetables in a few days. There you go. You can have it done. The problem is that you now need to harvest and water and buy new seeds and all the rest of it, and it becomes literally more than a full-time job. It becomes an obsession for you to the point that you can't do anything else because these crops are just so prolific that you need to keep on top of things. So, friends, family, hobbies, sleep, all the rest of it, you just lose out on all of that because you are just so locked in on harvesting these vegetables and fruits and what have you. Now, for the next three, they all more or less said the same thing. So I'm going to group all three of you together on an expedition. So Blobby said, is harvesting the moon possible? Never played, just wanted to feel included. Brother Retro, did you already have one, Brother Retro? No, you didn't. Brother Retro also said, I second Blobby, and I also want to harvest the moon, please. And then going back up here to the big deal, who said, I know nothing of this game, so I'll choose to literally harvest the moon and sell those moon rocks to Cave Johnson and Aperture Science for a pretty penny. The three of you all get in a rocket together and fly off to the moon in order to harvest all of these moon rocks so that you can sell them for a profit. The problem is that you get there and each one of you thought the other one fueled the rocket enough to make it back, and none of you actually did. So you're now all stuck on the moon. And now it's just a game of, well, who eats who first? Because unfortunately, that moon is not, as you may believe, made of cheese. So supplies are dwindling and you will soon turn on each other. And if anyone wants to write in and guess who wins out of that trio there, we will take all comers. Excellent. There we go. That is it for Choose One, Lose One. Thanks for playing, guys, as always. That is so much fun to do. But we, again, have got to move on to our next section, which is a little more of me putting on a silly voice to explain a little bit about Harvest Moon on the Super Nintendo in the Gentleman's Interlude. Right then, let me tell you about Harvest Moon on the Super Nintendo. A game that knows a thing or two about honest graft, even if it were made half a world away. Harvest Moon were developed by a Japanese lot called Amcus, with the idea coming from Yoshihiro Wada, a chap who reckoned games didn't always need dragons and explosions to be worth your time. First came out in Japan on 9th August 1996, published by Pack-In Video, and later turned up over here and in North America a year or two later, thanks to Natsume. Funny thing really, Japanese developers managing to capture the feel of rural life better than most city folk ever could. Now the game drops you onto a knackered old farm your granddad's left behind. Place is in a right state, rocks everywhere, weeds up to your knees, and buildings barely holding together. You're given 3 years to prove you're not a waste of space, by turning that patch of land into a proper working farm. No shortcuts, mind. You'll be up early every day, watering crops, planting seeds, chopping wood, and tending cows and chickens like they're your own. What I like is how the seasons roll in steady as they do back home. Spring's for planting, summer's busy as out, autumn's harvest time, and winter gives you a bit of breathing space, if you've planned ahead. Forget to water your crops and they'll wither. Slack off too much and the land shows it. Game's got a quiet way of teaching responsibility, same as farming does in real life. It's not just about fields and barns either. There's a village nearby, full of folk with their own routines and moves. You talk to them, give gifts, go to festivals, and if you're doing well enough, you might even find a lass to marry. Time keeps ticking whether you're ready or not, which feels mighty familiar to anyone who's watched weather ruin a good plan. For an SNES game, Harvest Moon were something special. Calm, thoughtful, and built on patience rather than button mashing. Like farming itself, it rewards those who stick at it. Not flashy, not loud, just honest work done day by day and all the better for it. Alright, enough dilly-dallying, it's time to get into the game of the week. So before we do that, of course, we like to listen to what you guys think of the game in question. And Brother Retro has written in saying, I've always wanted to check this out since I loved Animal Crossing so much, though for all I know, it's nothing of the same. Either way, can't wait to hear the gang's thoughts. There are definitely similarities. I think we do talk about it on the episode. I think sort of one is kind of necessary for the other one to exist, frankly. Radmac says, my first Harvest Moon was 64, played the shit out of that game. Sold the cartridge in my 20s for some extra money to buy beer and remembered later that all my animals were named Penis Breath, Cunt Face, and comparably rude, offensive things. Hopefully it wasn't a gift to a kid. Played the SNES version for the first time on the Switch emulator, got about 15 minutes in and wanted to rip my eardrums out from how annoyingly shrill the sounds and music were. I might go back to it, but I legit dropped the game because I couldn't stand the sound. Uh, I mean, I can't speak to the sound, but you'll find as we talk, we are no more mature than you are, my friend. First thing I did, really, when I was naming animals, so yeah, kindred spirits, you and I. New Year Yoshi 94 says, let's harvest some moons. We discussed that in the choose one, lose one. Yoshi, it does not end well for you. But thanks anyway. Dave McGuinness said, Harvest Moon is a game I never played. Well, maybe you'll change your mind after this episode, Dave. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. You'll have to wait and find out, won't you? And finally, Super Dave says, this is in fact your dad's Harvest Moon, kiddos. And I'm going to cut in there. You've just made me feel really, really old, Super Dave. So thanks for that. But you're right. So yeah, this is in fact your dad's Harvest Moon, kiddos. I've said it before on another podcast that Harvest Moon is a franchise with a massive following that no one talks about. I personally owe a lot of my gaming identity to Harvest Moon, and I have been a loyal customer for over 20 years. SNES Harvest Moon still holds the classic hook of one more day and I can harvest my crops, despite being very basic by modern standards. But you don't have Stardew Valley or much of the cozy farming life sim genre without this game. I hope you'll enjoy the first entry in this soft-spoken franchise and invite me on the show if and when you cover another one. That's basically the episode. There we are. You've summed it up nicely, Super Dave. No, I'm joking. There's plenty more to talk about, of course, and we're going to do that right about now. So thanks everyone for writing in. As always, we always appreciate your input. It makes everything just so much more enjoyable. And without further ado, we are going to talk a little bit of Harvest Moon, released on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in 1996 in Japan, 1997 in North America, and 1998 in Europe. Thanks for listening, guys. Enjoy the show. And we are back to talk a little bit of farming, unusually on the show, with a bit of Harvest Moon for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And with me, as always, Goddess of the Harvest, Brian, and my favourite golden hoe, Sam. How you doing, guys?
Damn it, I want to be the golden hoe. Goddesses are one thing, but fucking hoes get paid.
Yeah. It's true enough. I tell you what, I did sort of I had the ideas for those names, and I was just like, I'm not sure which one I'm gonna make which, and you know, I have no justification for that. I don't know, Brian, you're just glorious, and Sam, you my hoe. So best I could do it,
Daddy.
Best I could do on short notice. Guys, how the fuck you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Anyone eaten any chili recently? Or
Yeah, I had to rush upstairs into my office and set up because I forgot we were recording. I downed a bowl of chili with a little extra hot sauce. I was going to enjoy that burn tonight. Now I'm going to enjoy it all night.
So now all of Brian's opinions on this admittedly very chill and relaxing farming simulator are going to be extra spicy for you guys. And
hot takes from Brian.
Hot 5-star takes. Guys, before we get into talking about Harvest Moon, and you know, our experiences with the game such as they are, how do you feel about these sort of life sim farming simulator games? And have you guys ever tried to do any sort of farming and growing in real life?
Sam, you can go. Take this one first.
I mean, not really, as far as I don't play a lot of these games. I plunked around with Animal Crossing, but I don't know if you'd consider that any sort of life sim. I guess it's like it falls into that cozy game genre, right? Like, you know, low stakes, just kind of picking weeds and harvesting crops and trying to make a little bit of money and then buying little trinkets and things. I mean, that's what Animal Crossing is in a nutshell. So I played that. I've dabbled in Stardew, but I guess like it was kind of missing that hook for me. I know a lot of people get really, really into it, but for whatever reason, I couldn't find myself getting into it. This game though, for whatever reason, and maybe it was because I had to play it for the show, so I had to kind of get through that initial, I guess, slowness, because when you're getting started, there is kind of a learning curve to some of these games sometimes, and I think once I got past that, I was like, oh, I'm in. I get it. I'm making money. I've got my tasks laid out for me that I need to do, and I mean, that was excuse me. I mean, then that was all there was to it. Like, I really wish that Switch Online gave you stats for like how much you spend on each individual game, because I think I spent a pretty significant amount of time playing around with this game.
Yeah, that would be cool. And what about, any green fingered experience?
Oh yeah, I missed that part. I mean, I've gardened
he has
a little bit before.
Brown thumb.
Yeah, brown thumb. I've gardened a little bit before, but not extensively. Maybe we could start one here. It'd be nice to have one. I mean, it's always nice to be able, like, if you grow cucumbers or like peppers or something, you're like, I'm just gonna run out and grab a fresh one for dinner or whatever. Not that that's all you would eat for dinner, but you know, cook with it or whatever.
Well, if the world ends, you might have to. You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
Ryan, how about you, buddy?
Oh, God, see, I have the opposite kind of experience that Sam does. I love Stardew Valley. Like, I played that game like endlessly for probably like 2-3 months of straight playthrough, and I do like these chill, relaxing farming games, and that's as chill and relaxing as you can get. So when going back to Harvest Moon, which I played when I was young, and I loved back then, I found it like too far of a step backwards. Like this game walked so others could run, and I just did not have the greatest time, especially considering I spent way too much time on my first pass through just harvesting turnips.
Mm.
I probably could have beat the game and being a loner just being a turnip farmer. It just, I was making a good amount of money. I got a chicken. I got killed the first night because I didn't know about the whole coyote thing.
Oh, right.
And
Damn.
yeah, so I restarted. I followed a walkthrough just to kind of like get the hang of it again. And yeah, I probably won't play this one ever again. Just simply, not because it's a bad game, but because, like I said, it's dated now. It's the genesis of this genre, I would say. I don't even know if it's the first game, but I believe it's the first one everybody talks about. But it's just done so much better nowadays that it's really hard to play this, and we'll get into the whys
Sure.
as we progress through the show. So it's just, that's where I am. And as for my farming experience, Alan, I had a plant and
Oh.
it died.
Oh. Well,
My wife, oh god, my wife is a death to plants. She has so many around the house, and it's like every week she's throwing out another one there because she forgot to water it, or it was too much in the sun and it baked. Oh god, it's hilarious.
oh, well, R.I.P. to your plant. You would-
Plants.
plants. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I have experience with this series, but I never went back and played this original iteration. I've played like some of the Game Boy ones, there's a couple on Switch, and it gets a bit sort of murky as you go on because there was a whole sort of debacle with the naming rights to the series. So I do believe it's now the Story of Seasons, which I think is what it was originally called. Or it's the translation of what it was originally called in Japan. I don't know. Somebody smarter than me probably knows. But I've played a few of these farming simulators, and they're the type of game that you put down at least an hour after you tell yourself that you're going to put these games down. You'll be playing a game like this, and you just be like, you know what, I think I'm done for the day. And then it just keeps insisting on just one more day. One more day. Let's just see what happens tomorrow. Let's just see what I can sell tomorrow. And it just becomes so addictive. You really fall into that gameplay loop. I've definitely been more successful on these games than I have in real life. I used to grow some tomatoes and chilies, and very unsuccessfully some peppers. And we still do have on the regular quite a few herbs in the back garden. That's herbs with an H. But yeah, no, I really do enjoy these types of games. But I do agree that this is one that's perhaps it's valuable for its for what it's offered to the genre. But you're absolutely right. I mean, it has been expanded on and done better since.
Even with its own series, it's been done better.
Of course. Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you, though? I mean, every
Right,
subsequent
yeah,
release.
sure.
Yeah, we're regressing Harvest Moon 2 to a basic bitch game. There's
Yeah.
not even any farming in it. You just walk around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's just moon. And there's no harvest.
It wouldn't just be walking around. It'd be like, you can still farm. We've just somehow made it less convenient.
Yeah. Oh, buddy, in those early goings in this game, like, you really do feel like you're scrambling because, I mean, to set the table, you are, I guess, a kid who's come back home, I guess, and your parents have said, right, well, this farm is yours now. We're off. We've obviously not taken very good care of the place, and you now have.
No, they haven't, have they?
Oh no, and they're like, well, now you have. I mean, I think it's 2.5 years in this game, usually 3 in the others, I think. But you have 2.5 years to put this farm back together and make it successful. And off you go. And yeah, I mean that's about the total of the story to this game. It's all about what you can do and how you manage your time, because knowing full well you have that time limit, it can light a fire under you. if you care about getting everything done, right?
Yeah, and that's a double-edged sword as well. I mean, if you know what you're doing right off the bat, then the time thing is a fun little challenge. But if you're trying to learn the game, because the only tutorial about this game is a video you can watch from the main menu, which just shows like a day in the life of the farmer, and if you follow that, it's not a very good guide, because if you read online, they've like made some modifications to what you should do when you plant things, and they have like these things, they call it the C like formation, or the super C or something like that, where because you can't get to the middle plant when you have the watering can, they just make a divot so that you can get to all of them. And that was my biggest problem, is I didn't know what I was doing at the very beginning, so that's why I had to go back and start again, because now that I knew what I was doing, like, I didn't know I needed all the grass I did, so I never bought grass. I just had the one patch. And to get a chicken, you need, I think, 2 9 blocks of grass. So it's the time crunch is great, except for it really should give you a little bit of time to learn the game before it gives you the business.
Arguably, yes, I agree with that. I mean, there is something to be said for kind of working things out, because, you know, where you are on a relatively, I mean, it's not short, you can still put a lot of time into this game. I think it's designed to be played multiple times, and it's the sort of game that you will do better each time. But no, I'm like you. Like, I want to do everything, and I want to do everything perfectly and get the perfect, like, and get married and have kids and all the rest of it just right on the first playthrough. I think the time limit in that sense can be both encouraging and not limiting so much as, and I don't want to say stressful, because it's not, but you know, you sort of know where I'm trying to go with this.
Yeah, you have to have some sort of what's the word I'm looking for here? Something to a goal, an aim, something that you have to beat. I don't know the word I'm looking for.
Well, there has to be an end to it somehow. Like, you're not going to just play an endless game. I mean, there are endless games, but even a game like Animal Crossing, there is a goal. I mean, you're supposed to get all of the islanders and the biggest house you can get, and have like KK Slider come and play concerts or whatever, and that's how you know, like, you've quote unquote finished the game. And then everything else is just kind of the cherry on top, like you can just continue to play it. But yeah, like, I think this game would have been super ahead of its time in a bad way if for whatever reason the game just never ended. Like, that wasn't how we were wired back then, and even to some extent now. Like, you got to have an endpoint.
Yeah, what you said is absolutely right. You need to have an endpoint, but it would have been nice, and I don't know if it does this. I haven't finished the game in my life, but after you finish year 3, are you able to just go back to the farm and carry on with like casual, no stress farming?
Not in this one. It's something that they added to the series going forward, but this one just flat out just ranks you, gives you the ending, and that's your lot. So yeah, they did improve on that.
Yeah. See, that after game farming, or that after game just casual, no stress, whatever you're doing and whatever game you're playing, that's, to me, your reward for the hard work you put in during the game. I'm glad they implemented it later on. It would have been nice in this game as well.
I don't know, though. I mean, I see your point and I agree with you, but you know me, I'm a guy who likes to complete his games, and when I get that, it was the same with Animal Crossing, which I'm horrible at, by the way, because, you know, I just see these islands that people make, and I'm just like, I have a tree. There is a bench in the vicinity.
Right.
Exactly. And it's just like, when it got to the quote-unquote ending that Sam was describing there, I was just like, well, I've rolled credits, so I guess I'm done with this. You know, I find very little need to go back and carry on. But that's just me. Like, I can see how somebody else would love to go back and do that.
Sometimes a game hits you so good that you don't want it to end, and after the credits roll there, you get that sense of emptiness. So having the ability to go back and just farm for a bit, it's like tapering off the, just that high you have for the game. You taper it off over a day or two or a week or two, and then you just move on to something else.
Sure.
it's closure in a
Yeah,
way.
Yeah.
you can wean yourself off of it by like slowly
Yeah,
just kind of like playing it more till you get bored.
yeah,
That's it.
it's unlike those games that have a hard ending there, and you're just like, oh man, that was amazing. I still want to play this game, but there's nothing left to do there. And then the next day, you're like lying in your bed with the sweats itching the holes where the heroine of the game went in, and you're just like jonesing for more.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree in the sense that, by the end of this game, I had gotten a wife, there, we'd had a child, and there was a second one on the way, but the game ended before that point. It's just like, well, it would have been nice to have seen, like, the whole family fill out the barn with adult cows and chickens and what have you, even though I don't think that's necessarily the best idea in the world. But from a sense of, like, because you have goals that you set yourself in a game like this, and there is, you can beat the game and get a good ending, but you'll be like, yeah, but I didn't finish that thing I wanted to do. So having some time after the game would definitely benefit that.
And sometimes you realize what you need to do to achieve something like kind of late. Like for me, I was like, I think well, who did you end up marrying, by the way?
Oh well, yeah, let's do that.
Nobody.
I
Because
married.
my guy got married too.
Did you? I married Eve, the girl from the
Okay.
bar.
Oh, nice. That would have been, yeah. That one I think would have been like one of the more convenient ones to marry, because you can go there after, like basically after hours when you can't ship any more crops or produce or anything, and your guy's probably already tired. You just go there and talk to her a bunch and maybe give her something, and she like gives you a drink that makes you drunk or whatever.
The juice
So
that is
I'm-
definitely
The juice,
not
yeah.
alcoholic. Yeah.
No,
I'm just gonna
right.
cut in here right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the different types of endings you can get. There's one called the Casanova where you get all six,
Yes.
all girls
Yep.
to 6 hearts,
Yeah.
and then you
But
don't
you
get
don't marry
married.
any of them, right? You can't get
you
married,
just
but you have to have them all.
You strut around town getting a little something from all the ladies. Yes.
Yeah,
What?
I tell you what,
Yeah.
that just makes me think you're walking around like Billy from Stranger Things. You remember that guy?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, just all of the, as the
God.
kids say, a riz.
Yeah.
Oh God, my kid's coming upstairs to punch you.
Yeah.
Well, bring me some of that chili.
Wait.
That sounded
Oh
good.
Yeah.
God, yeah. All I have to do is fart my way across the Atlantic.
I'll welcome you with open arms and probably a mask. So
Got Britain scrambling jets there as I fly in like a rocket.
yeah, definitely. That would be the response. I mean, so obviously we need to talk about the meat and potatoes. Quite literally, the
Oh wait,
potatoes.
wait. My character got married to.
Yeah, I
yeah.
cut in there.
I got my character got married to. Shoot, what was her name? The one that's the one with the pink hair. Nina.
Oh, like the flower
She's
girl.
right outside. Yeah, she's right outside, and that's why like I think that was the other more convenient one that you could have married, because it was like you don't have to go out of your way to like go to the church or wherever else like these ladies are hanging out. Like I was always at the seed shop, and then as soon as I was done at the seed shop, I would just like either buy her a flower from inside the seed shop, or I just talk to her, make sure I talk to her every day.
And that's it. I mean, and
yeah.
that's kind of a genius thing about a game. Like, you would not necessarily expect that mechanic in a game this early in the series, because you've got quite a few different bachelorettes that you can court, and they all have sort of very unique parameters for improving your friendship.
God, you're such a romantic. The parameters on my wife.
The parameters.
Oh yeah, yeah. You have to meet certain conditions, or else she won't like you.
Which is pretty cool. Which is like pretty in depth. I mean, for Eve, like you said, and that's something we need to mention, and something that they did address in the later games. Like, the nights in this game are endless. You can literally farm, you can talk to people, you can do whatever you like, literally all night, and there is no cutoff. They would change that in later games. You get to a point where you just have to cash in, and
Right.
that's your lot. But hypothetically, and I did do this, I would just run into the mountains, grab one of the flowers, run back to the bar, and repeat as many times as I could be bothered to. So it's a really
Yeah, that's
easy way to
awesome.
just bump up that love meter.
Well, the only reason why, like, I kind of that's one where I was kind of going earlier was like you sometimes you figure out one of the things that you can do in the game kind of late, and that's where I was like scrambling towards the end because at some point I figured out that you could, and this is very intrusive, go into their rooms and read their diaries to see how much they like you.
Nice.
So I was yeah.
we had a military commander that did the same thing. He's in jail now.
Oh
Um,
God.
how many hearts did you have for him?
I ended up with Nina. That's where I was like,
Oh, I
oh, I
just
gotta
meant with
figure out
his
what to
with
do with
his
this.
like military guy. Just like if
Oh
he's reading.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that thing.
I have
Yeah,
no
never mind.
idea, but apparently he got a whole bunch of panties from kids' wardrobes. So
Oh,
Oh,
gross. Jesus.
okay.
let's avoid the rest of this conversation.
Yeah,
shall we?
Absolutely.
well, in Harvest Moon you can't steal their panties, but you can look at their diary.
Yeah. And that will tell you how much they are infatuated with you at this point.
Exactly. So I was
Um,
kind of looking at each one, and I was kind of gauging like, all right, which one should I like focus on? Because naturally, like one would have a couple. If I happen to talk to her more, like the bar, the one that you ended up marrying, the one in the bar. I was like, well, I had talked to her a few times and drank whatever juice she gave me, so I think she had like two hearts maybe. And then I look over at Nina from the flower shop and it was like 7 hearts, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta like at some point I gotta figure out what to do with this. And it was like getting on towards a couple of the later seasons. I was like, okay, now I need to figure out like what I need to actually do to marry one of the people. And it was like, you need this like happiness flower or something, like the happiness feather, and you have to give it to them. So I found where she was, and she hangs out in the cave, which is really weird. And that was actually, did you get story beats for Eve, where like if your hearts were at a certain level at a certain time, like I had a thing where someone came to my farm one day and it was like, Nina's lost in the cave, you have to go save her. And so I like I went to find her like on the mountain or whatever, and she was like passed out in the cave.
yeah. In fact, I mean, it's very similar, but with Eve, it was her because she lived with that. Was it a hunter or a grandfather or something? And
Yeah, yeah.
he was lost in the cave, so I had to go and find and
Oh,
rescue
okay.
him. And that's, but yeah, it's just little events that trigger when you have enough affection with someone. Again, really really
Yeah,
cool
that's
little
kind of cool.
feature. Yeah,
Replay value too, because like you can find out what happens with this or that character if you have their affections high or whatever. So
yeah,
I don't know. There's different ways to go about it.
yeah,
Well, this goes back to what Alan said about replay value. It's another thing that gives you a reason to try something new as you progress through the game a second, third, fourth, fifth time.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
really cool.
yeah. Absolutely, because. I mean, this is not a game in the traditional sense of the word that we are or we were used to at the time, because you can't lose at Harvest Moon. You
Yeah,
can you could
who we playing it versus?
yeah, exactly. It's just like, yeah, there's a timer and yeah, you'll get graded, but you'll just get one of, I mean, there's something like 20 different endings to this game, and they do stack, depending on if you've met the if you've met the needs of each of these endings. They will play sequentially, but there are so many different endings and so many different ways to play this game. It's like it's impossible to lose. And if you do shit the first time, we'll just learn from it, play it again, and try something different.
Yeah, I did like how I think I met a few different conditions. So like I had at least 4 cows and at least 4 chickens, so it showed me like playing around with my cows and my chickens. And then I had harvested at least 200 of everything except for like Brian was all about turnips. I didn't actually do that many turnips because I found that I was having to harvest them and then go buy a ton more seeds. So I just stuck with once I had enough money, I just stuck with potatoes.
Yeah,
So
see, that was my
yeah.
problem. Is I got stuck in the cycle when I read the guide later. It said avoid the turnips because of that, and the potatoes, like, they regrow, don't they?
Not potatoes,
No,
no.
just the
Not
summer
potatoes.
crops do, yeah.
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
summer crops, right?
yeah.
But the potatoes were a higher yield for the same amount of money or something.
Right.
It was something like that.
They are
It
definitely more pricey, more rewarding.
Yeah, but
Right.
the turnips grow faster. That's why I got the turnips. But it was just an endless cycle, and I was making money until I learned that if you throw anything in that box after he comes and picks it up for the day, you're just tossing it away. So you might as well leave it in the ground. Then I also learned that if you throw the fucking turnip,
Oh,
it
Mm-hmm.
just disappears. Like you just like pluck it out of the ground and you throw it like Mario and Super Mario Brothers 2, and then it's gone.
Right.
yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
And that did
that
piss me
was
off
tough.
because there were several occasions, especially, and I know we're jumping all over the map here, but whatever. Especially like later
this
on.
game is all about freedom.
Exactly. Well said, Brian. It's like when you get the horse later on. Now
Yes.
the horse just rocks up on your farm at one point. The guy's just like, "Well, here you've got a horse now," and it needs time to grow, and it's just mooching around your farm for a bit, and eventually it becomes a mature horse. And the guy comes out and says, "Here, have some saddlebags." Now, rather than running your crops all the way to the single crop bin that's next to your house, which really teaches you where you need to plant your crops early on in the game,
Oh
because
yeah.
Yeah.
I was putting these crops, I mean, fairly close, but I was getting to the point where it's just like it's taking me longer to get this one turnip to that box than it is to literally like water every one of them and stuff like it's just ridiculous. But you get this horse with the saddlebags, and the idea then is you can take it with you, dismount, and throw your vegetables into the saddlebags, and it works just as well. The problem that I have no idea why, and it's not the only game that does this, why the horse needs to fucking move when
All of the
you're
animals are so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
but the horse would move, and I'd have a very valuable tomato or something, and I would just
Yeah.
it would just splat on the floor, and I was just like, well, that's fucking wasted. And in the end, it doesn't really matter because I was harvesting loads of them, but it was still frustrating. I put
It's
time and effort
annoying.
into that tomato.
Exactly. It's still like you still get that sense of like, well, that was a fucking waste of my time.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I planted the seed and watered it a bunch, and got it to the point where I could harvest it, and then the horse took a step and I threw it on the ground.
Yeah.
God
Oh
damn it.
God. Yeah.
So for
I
me,
found that. Oh,
I
sorry,
would
go
just
ahead,
use
Sam.
no, I would just use rewind. I was just like, nope, fuck that. I'm
Oh,
gonna just I'm
I
gonna
never
just
thought of
like
that.
it's there. Well, it's there on Switch Online. It's like it's there. I understand that it's not a original part of the game, and it really doesn't matter. But on principle, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just back it up a frame and put it in the horse.
I don't think anyone in their right mind is going to look at somebody rewinding or save stating on a Harvest Moon game and say you cheesed it. Like I don't think pride runs that deep.
No, it's like you didn't beat it
You'd be
legit.
surprised with gamers out there. Probably like, oh, he's not a real gamer. I bet
Yeah,
you
that's
played
true.
this on a Switch.
I'm not a real
undocked."
gamer. Yeah,
Oh.
it's even more shameful. It's fucking Harvest Moon, and it's like I was playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Sam, did you beat it clean? No.
No, I
Well,
had to
No.
rewind.
do it
Yeah.
again.
So when it came to the beginning of the game and my first pass through of this, I found it to be absolutely tedious and insanely annoying that you had to pick up one vegetable, run it to the bin, run back, pick up another vegetable, run it to the bin, and like Alan said, you really taught you to plan your crops, and it was ticking me off because there's no uh, on-screen interface that tells you what time of the day it is. You know it's noon
Right.
when he eats something, so you know
Mhm.
you have 3 hours left, but you don't know when those 3 hours are gone until the dude shows up to take the shipping. And more often than not, I'd be on my way to the box and they would pause and
Yeah.
be like, I'm here to pick up the crap. Here's
Yes.
$300 or 300 gold. And then I have a turnip that I have to get rid of.
Just like, well, I
You're gonna
guess I'm
shit
done
your
with this
pants,
turnip.
Brian. But you can press the select button. If you press the select button, it'll say
I knew
it'll give you the
that,
quick status.
but-
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like, it's just such a bad way to do it because
Yeah.
I'm not going to press the select button every time I grab a turnip to see if I can make it back to the bin.
Oh,
I'm going
right.
as fast
Yeah.
as I can, right?
Yeah,
Well, this
you
is
are
just
going as fast as you can, and the time goes quick. Like
It
each
goes, it flies.
yeah, like it could take you an hour of the day just to walk into town, and it's like
Yeah.
if you forget something, it's like forget it, your day is gone.
Well, every time you make that transition between screens, I think the time skips, especially when you head into the mountains.
Ugh.
Like the time just jump ahead.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, I guess, but I don't need that level of realism. I mean,
Right.
realistically speaking, these things are next to each other. So can we just not?
Right. To simulate like actual passage of time. It's like I'm actually playing this to get away from the actual passage of time if we could.
Exactly. I'm here to waste time, not mark it.
So
Right.
here's another thing I learned. When I was reading the walkthrough, it was on GameFAQs. So it was one of those old text-based walkthroughs.
I love
And
those.
One of the tricks they actually told you to do is actually get rid of all of your fences, because
I did
if
that.
you have a fence and the fence
Interesting.
breaks, a coyotes or whatever will come and attack your livestock. But if you have no fence, they can't break, and therefore it'll never trigger the coyotes.
That's right.
That's a brilliant loophole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fence can't be broken if it doesn't exist.
Oh
Yeah,
my
exactly. And
god.
coyotes can't go through a broken fence if there is no broken fence.
But this-
just
Can
a
you-
wide open field.
Could you imagine if that was the actual like can't break into my house if I don't have locks on my doors? Like
Yeah, exactly. Checkmate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just it. There's loads of these little quirks in this game that I found quite enjoyable. Like that one, obviously, as I said, the time not passing overnight. Like you can literally, get all of your vegetables into that bin, and then, I found it just far more useful than spend the night doing all the watering. Getting rid of all
That's
of
what I would
the debris and weeds and what have you that were around the farm.
until you pass out.
Well, and then you just go up to the mountains and hop in the hot springs like 10 times or so, and then you're back up to full stamina.
Well, and
Which
here's the
again
other
would be
thing.
nice if
Oh.
there was something to show you your stamina. But then,
Yeah, there really is not a stamina. The only
There
thing it
isn't,
is
no.
like as you're working, he does like different animations to show like how tired
Yeah.
he is, and that's about it.
Yeah, which do sort of correspond to like a certain amount of stamina left, but yeah, the game doesn't tell you what that is.
no,
It
I
was
don't-
also nice. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't mind that so much. There is something there, like a stamina bar kind of takes you out of the immersion of the game in a sense. But that was a nice kind of touch to see where you were. I just worked myself until he passed out.
Yeah,
Basically me too. But the
Yeah.
other thing is like once you got to that level of fatigue, there were still certain things you could do. Like you could unlimited feed your animals. You could unlimited pick like if you had weeds or whatever, you could pick as many of those as you wanted without consuming any stamina. So it's always like there was always something that you could do even if you were out and you still had. So you could parse out, what you needed to do. Like you said, at night I was doing my watering and then, cleaning up any weeds.
yeah.
And I could do that as long as I wanted.
Well, basically, the game only really recognizes stamina when you're using tools. Like anything
Right.
that you can pick up and carry, which makes no sense because you can just pick up all the rocks on the farm and throw them into the water as a way of breaking,
Yeah.
as a way of getting
In
rid of
the
them. Rather than,
water? Good
Yeah.
lord.
Yeah,
you could just
You
chuck
know
them
what
in
I
there. You
did
don't
is
even.
I just made like a makeshift fence around. Like I just put them all around the border.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it looked
Well,
cool.
Yeah, I like that. Very see, how many different ways to play this game?
Yeah.
That's cool.
just
Yeah.
made giant dicks all over my land.
Yeah, you
I
could. You
think
could write
aliens
like
came down and mushroom stamped my fields.
you could write swear words on the fields if you wanted to.
Oh my god, I need to start playing this game again. That's genius. I mean, listen,
I mean,
not for nothing, but I used plenty of swear words when I was naming my animals. Like all of
Oh
my,
yeah,
yeah.
I did too.
Oh, yeah.
I named my
Like-
cows like a 12-year-old child would, and it's
What
hilarious.
is it about games that don't give you names or give you the option to name something that triggers that part of our brain that just goes swear words?
Especially when it's
I'm
a
gonna call it
4-letter
fuck.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that thing about putting your name in the highest score, right? It's
Yeah, it's ass,
Ass.
always. Isn't that a Futurama where Fry puts his
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, ASS. Oh,
See,
man.
there you go. See, this game has literally taken us back to our childhoods. So that's
Yeah.
a point in its favor.
This cow I've named Fuck.
I think
I
actually, you know,
never
I'm
not
gonna,
mine
funny.
starting with a C.
yeah. I'm just
I
trying
named
to
my
fart.
chicken Cock.
Did you name the chickens? I don't think you
No,
could
the
Cock.
chickens didn't have names.
No.
I didn't name the chicken. I named the chicken Cock.
Ah, I see. I see.
Then
Well,
he died like not even a day later. Cock got beaten.
Oh, here's one thing I wanted to
by a
ask
All
you
coyote.
that
guys.
to set up that joke.
Did you ever take your animals outside?
no.
I didn't either. I just
chicken.
left them in. It's like, well, if you leave your animals outside, they get sick a lot and they can get eaten by coyotes. I was like, well, then why would I ever put them outside? That's fucking dumb. So I just left them in the barn.
I mean,
The reason I left the chicken outside is I didn't know about the coyotes at the time, but it was they would feed themselves off your grass patches without you having to
Right.
cut them down.
Yeah, I guess
And-
you didn't have to. Yeah, there was an advantage to that, but like also when you're inside, time doesn't pass. So if you have a ton of cows and then a ton of chickens and you want to make some money, you can do it basically without spending any time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do as much as you like in there. And yeah, I mean, while I will admit, like, and that's where you kind of run the risk if you've got too many of any animals, because the cows are not too bad. You know, the cows, they will, if you're sort of trying to go somewhere, they'll get the message and start moving off in that direction to get out of your way, which I really appreciated. The chickens, on the other hand, are fuck faces. You know,
Yeah,
they
they suck.
were literally custom built to get in your fucking way every step of the way. And, you know, you can pick them up and move them, great. But if you've got a handful of eggs,
Not if you're holding an
then-
egg. Yeah.
well, exactly. So then they'll just hem you in. It's just like, you little fuckers.
Well, the only remedy I had to that really was like if I was truly blocked on one end, you could put the egg in the other side of the. You could go over the top of the box if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. There's a
there's
couple of
also
different ways to chuck it in.
There's also a random like post there for no reason by the box where you put the eggs.
What is that?
Like why is
that?
that there? It's just a piece. It's just a pain in the ass. It's just like wasted space where like they just put something just to put it there. I guess maybe it like makes it look like more of a barn, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just got in my way.
It is cool, and again, it's something that's common to the series, but, you know, you can just sell those eggs, or you can chuck one in the incubator and get a new chicken for free. And,
I only bought one chicken the entire game. I bought my first chicken, and every other chicken was a chicken from that first chicken.
There you go. See, it's just easy. The cows, on the other hand, like, you can... So once a cow
Can't
reaches...
take a cow egg and get a new cow.
You
No,
cannot,
you have
Brian.
to go
funnily
buy
enough.
bull semen at the store.
Do you know what? It is a miracle injection, and I've never once stopped to think what that means. That is a full-on tube of bull semen, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
Yes.
There's
sir.
literally nothing
Yeah.
else that could... Oh,
if you
no.
eat it, it raises your stamina.
Oh, gross.
Brian, go sit in the cup
It-
chair until we're
It
finished.
makes you irresistible to the ladies. Like
It's made from real bull semen. 60% of the time, it works every time.
you want a sip of my bull semen?
Oh God!
Yeah, so you can
Oh,
get a
gross.
mature cow, get your
Yep.
tubagoo, and give it to the cow, and it'll become pregnant. The problem with that is just that it takes so long for the cow to actually give birth, and then so long for
Well,
that
you
cow.
try making a baby. God.
Yeah, come on,
man.
man.
I know. Well, this is it. I'm
Don't
sympathetic.
belittle the process here.
I'm sympathetic, but at the same time, I can't get any milk out of you while you're laying around doing nothing. So
Oh, that's true. So that
Papa's
really
gotta
does
get
take
paid.
that cow out
Out of
of
the game.
out of commission.
now there is
That's the thing.
another loophole where you can give that cow some of that miracle medicine, and then it will give birth in 3 days. But then you've still got to wait the 21 for the calf to become a mature cow and start milking it. So I was just
Yeah.
buying them.
I think I did too, because I think I mean technically, quote unquote, you would save money by buying the miracle seed, because the miracle, or whatever you called it, like the miracle potion or whatever, that was cheaper than a new cow, but also like you'd have to factor in all of the time that you're not able to milk the cow and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like, did you brush your cows?
Absolutely.
Oh, I did too, and you get some
So you
big
get 'em to love
jugs. Oh, I know, and they give you like huge,
This-
like the milk that comes out is huge.
Mate, this soon after Christmas, I do have some big jugs, but I'm working on it, mate. I'm working
Yeah,
on
I got my I call them my A cups.
it.
I wish I was down to an A cup.
But yeah, so so again, the cows, they have like an inherent like the women, they have an inherent affection meter, which again you can't
Right.
see. It's only that there are a lot of numbers in this game that happen behind the scenes,
Yeah.
but when they get to a certain
Yeah, but
value,
if you could see their affection for you, then you wouldn't be desired to go creep into their house and read their diary.
The cows?
I guess. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, the cows. Sorry,
Yeah.
I went back to the marriage thing.
You did.
Yeah.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Just Brian,
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 We started
women are not
talking. Sorry,
cows.
Brian,
we started
please,
talking
please
about
do not
titties.
please do not get confused, Brian, and go and sneak to look at Cow's diary and take some bull semen to a young lady's house. Let's get these right.
I'm not
okay?
sharing my bull semen.
Let's-
That's for me.
Let's keep
That's
these in the
all for
right
you.
place. Oh, yummy.
Man, we started talking about A cups and all that kind of stuff, and I went right back to the marriage part of the conversation. Holy shit!
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, so the more affection you get with these cows, the larger the milk that they give you. And at that point, you can literally just stop. You got what you
Right.
need. They will never lose, and that's the thing, they never lose happiness. And I want to say that in the
That's
later
what I noticed.
games,
I was like, I wish I could have
can.
taken back all the times I brushed the cows after they were already giving me the full amount of milk.
well, this is it, yeah, because it does. A lot of this game does become sort of quite routine, and that's one gripe that I had with it. At the start of the game, everything's very frantic. You're trying your best to clean the farm up, and you're trying your best to talk to people, and you're panicking over like growing crops and starting to make money. Especially considering that this game only has growable crops, grass notwithstanding, in spring and summer, and there is very, very little that you can actually do in autumn and winter if you've not got any animals to fall back on. And that's a limitation that I was not used to. Especially because later games, they do have autumn crops, they do have winter crops, and you can just carry on going all year round. So had I not already known that was a thing, like getting through the later months in the year would have been painstaking.
You know what I did is the first fall and winter I would tend to my chickens and cows, and then I would go to the mountain, and then I would just use the rest of my stamina chopping wood, and then I would go to bed.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
So that's how I built up a ton of wood, and then that way, when it came time to upgrade the house, I was able to upgrade the house like relatively quickly, like 2 times.
Yeah, which is something you need to do to get the clock for some reason, because you only get the clock if you upgrade the first house by like the end of summer or something, and it's also what you need to do in order to marry someone. So if you want to get the ball rolling on getting married, getting that affection up, and having kids, like you really need to be like on the ball quite early on.
Yeah, that's where like I think I like actually figured out the marriage thing too late, because by the time my character got married, I think it was like the beginning part of the last summer, or maybe it was like the end of the second summer or something like that. So like I didn't have as much time, and I think towards the end of the game I would like talk to the wife like every day just to see like if I had to do anything. And eventually it was like, what do you want to name the baby? And I was like, oh, so they were getting it on at some point. But that was my first thought. My second thought was, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it actually didn't. It must take a certain amount of time, and the game ended before she actually had the baby. But it did show in the final like little slew of cutscenes that I got like a little pixel baby like crawling around. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. See, I got that little pixel baby crawling around in the main game. It's the second one that I just didn't have time for, and that's again where that time limit is both useful and a bit of a curse, really, because
It'd be funny if you could pick up the tiny baby and put it in the box for sale.
What is the going rate for a baby? I don't know. Well, if you go to the guy in the the guy who shows up on Sundays
Oh,
in the
that's right.
market.
Yeah, he'll
Like
give you more for your
he
baby.
will give you more for your baby. Yeah, yeah, very useful. Um, Stamina seeds or stamina plants or stamina fruit or whatever the fuck. How many did you guys find?
None. On
A
this
few.
playthrough, didn't even look for them.
I
Oh,
mean, you more or less get one as a gimme. The more like you actually, you must have gotten at least one from just hoeing your grounds.
I think
Maybe
you
I
do
did,
find
but
one that way. Yeah.
yeah, maybe I did, but I just didn't pay attention. I was rushing through it. Obviously,
Hmm.
it was what Sunday. I was like I wasn't ready, and I had to sit down and play as much as I could yesterday. And when you're forced to play a game like this, it's less enjoyable for some reason. So
Yeah, I get that sense. Like, well, just to go back real quick to touch on the stamina, whatever fruits or whatever they were. Um, I got a few, but I know for sure that I missed some. Like there was one where I had to like take something to the top of the mountain at a certain time, and
Oh
then
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
created one for me. And then I think in that chicken statue that's on the road, I think if you smash it, one will show up. But I couldn't get it to stay, so I don't know if I was doing that one wrong.
Okay, no,
You get them at the
let's
festivals. Yeah,
let's talk about that. Now, what do you
yeah.
mean by that chicken one?
There's a chicken statue in the
Yeah.
road, and at one point, like the reason why I wanted to go check it out was like the the wife was like, I've always wondered about that chicken statue, and I was like, okay, and I was like, I wonder what I can do with it. So I took the hammer with and I smashed it. So you can smash the statue,
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, nothing happened. So then I just like, I don't know why, what prompted me to do this, but I just like was mashing the button to just continue to hit it um with the hammer, and then like every now and then the little berry would pop up, and then but I had already hit the button, so then he would swing the hammer and it would go away again. I couldn't get it to come back,
That is exactly what happened to me. Like I
so I don't know
smashed the
what to do
statue.
to get that. Yeah.
Well, as far as I could tell, and there wasn't much information around, but I heard that a couple of them were kind of a bit glitched, and
Okay.
if you've lost it, you're not getting it back, and that pissed me off no end
Oh, that
because
sucks. Yeah.
the exact same. I'm glad you said that because now I feel like less of an idiot for
Yeah, it's
because
like I don't
I
know what I'm supposed to do here.
I smashed the statue and I saw it, but he didn't gobble it up. I just mashed it, and that was it. And there was another one I didn't get because apparently somebody comes along eventually and asks for one of your chickens, and if you give him one, you. But I never had that dude turn up.
Oh yeah, I got that one. Someone came and asked. Oh, and then I got another thing where um, there was a point where I got really bored with just doing the animals, and it was actually taking quite a bit of time. So I was like, all right, I'm going to sell these animals. I'm going to sell about half of them. So I had like 8 chickens and 8 cows. And I was like, this is just taking so long. Um, so I sold the chickens first. And then when I tried to sell the cows, I had never taken them outside. So I had to figure out how to get them outside first. And then the first time I took a cow outside to the little pen where you sell the animals, this dude showed up and was like, I'll trade you this cow for a magic bean. And I knew the guy was coming, so that was kind of funny because I was like, yeah, I'll take the magic bean. And then the dude showed up for the livestock. He's like, don't tell me you're gonna sell me one, and then don't sell me one, and then he just walked away. But I got the magic bean.
Oh shit!
And you can
That's a
grow a beanstalk and you go into the sky, and then you get like a golden egg from a chicken, and then you can sell it for 10,000 gold. That's all it was. I was like, well, I guess in the end I just got a guaranteed, like 10K for a cow, which is how much they sell for. If they're the highest affection, you can sell a cow for
I
10,000.
know. I never did any of that. I mean, I got just
Yeah.
about all of the other stamina fruits, and yeah, it's just those last two. And I hear that you need all of them for like the quote unquote perfect ending.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but I did have a dog, so all is not lost.
Yeah,
And
I love the dog.
I mean, that's definitely a beagle, right? Gotta be.
He looks a lot like my dog, so I was very very happy with that dog.
Very enamored with the dog, and that sort of rounds up
Absolutely.
all your animals, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, when we talk about horse, chickens, dog,
Do
yeah,
you know what I love about
wife.
the for the perfect ending? You need to have picked up and hugged that dog 100 times, and I
Yes.
like that. That is a factor in the perfect ending. That
Yeah,
that
me
just
too.
makes sense.
But the funny thing is like you can do it all at once. It doesn't have to be like on 100 separate times. You could just
No,
sit there and like pick up, drop, pick up, drop, pick up, drop.
which is what I did. I mean, even though I wasn't going to get the best ending, I still felt like he deserved that level of affection.
Oh yeah, there was a stretch there where like if I had, like put my tools away and like got out the tools that I needed for the next morning or whatever before I went in the house, I would just like if I was going by the dog, I would just like pick it up 3 or 4 times and then go in.
That's good shit. That's good shit.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I suppose we should talk about the tools. That whole thing very early on in the game where you have these tools you start with, and they're only good for about one square of anything. Like you have the hoe, you can do one square. You have a scythe, you can do one square. The watering can is just painful because all you
Oh,
can
you have to
water is just
fill it.
one square, and it is so much work at the start of the game. Um, and then as the game goes on, you do get the opportunity to upgrade these things, and it is a lifesaver. Like when you start getting the golden tools, like that sprinkler that never runs out, and you can
Oh,
water an
that is the
entire pat.
best.
That is literally a game changer.
Yeah, it definitely makes the game more enjoyable as you go on. It like pays off. Like I said, like at the top, where a lot of times I'll stop playing a game like this because it's just like tedious. Once you get past a certain point, you start getting a couple of these golden tools, and then once you get the first one, it's like, oh, that's what that one does. I'm sure there's, obviously each of these tools has its golden counterpart. So I'm gonna stick around and see if I can get one. Get all of these. The only one I didn't end up with was the axe.
Okay, can't remember. Was the axe the one? Yeah, I think that's the one you have to. You if you because there's the earthquake at one point which opens up that area with the goddess in the pond, and if you use the axe
Yeah.
in front of that pond, she'll come out and do the whole Aesop's fable. Is this your axe? No, that's a gold
Oh
axe. That's not my.
shit.
And then she says, oh well, for your honesty, here's a gold axe.
Oh, that's nuts. Yeah, like all, I mean the gnomes, the little elves that live on your property, like give you one of them. I think it might be the sprinkler, and then like the other two, I think were like someone came to borrow it and were like, "Can I borrow this?" And I was like, "Yes." And then they come back the next day and they give you a
A
better
better
one.
one.
So I was like, "Well, that's cool."
Good times. Yeah, the little underpants gnomes.
Yeah, I thought those
Brian,
gnomes were funny.
you
Yes.
still there,
I'm
buddy?
sorry. I've just been kind of sitting here listening to you guys because I didn't have a lot of experience with the golden tools on this playthrough. And again, it's been years since I played this game the first time. And
Hmm.
no, it's way too tedious in the early game. I would have loved it better instead of having like I'm looking up right now. The golden tools aren't just something you can go buy. It's you find these. I don't know. I'm kind of wishy washy on that. In one sense, yeah, it kind of adds to the game and you can miss them. But on the other sense, it'd be nice if they had like silver tools or something that you could purchase and then maybe just like have an in between upgrade. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
maybe.
just it killed me. And the reason I was having a hard time getting into this and getting it done is because you water 6 crops and then you have to go refill your water thing at the nearest water hole, and you water 6 crops, and if you're just planting turnips like I was, it just gets boring after a while.
Oh, I agree, and
Yeah.
that's why something like the sprinkler, which just never runs out, and you could do the whole patch. It's just
Yeah,
like that. That just changed the game, and it does kind of make you feel like you worked for it as well, like because it doesn't give it to you right out of the gate. And these events that give you the golden tools, um, that's how you get it for free. But you can, if you miss that, you can buy them from the shop afterwards. It's just going to cost you a couple of grand. So best to avoid that.
oh, so you can buy them. Well, I don't know. It's still. I'm just complaining to complain. Maybe it's because I have no good experience with the constant like one tile
Mm.
watering, and I'm thinking about Stardew Valley when I think about this, and how you kind of had to build the sprinkler. And I remember the first time I played that game, it was the same thing. You know, the watering can would run out, and
Yeah.
I found it very tedious. And then once I got the hang of it, it became more fun. So I'm pretty sure if I like did another playthrough of this, I'd probably have a walkthrough just to help me get into it. But this time I have nothing to add to the tools.
No. Well, I mean, what you can weigh in on though is, I mean, what did you think this game? How did you think this game looked?
Yeah, it's well, like all Super Nintendo games, it holds up with the pixel graphics. It does what it needs to do. It does the Zelda like 3/4 top down view, and it's colorful. It feels like a farm. The town feels like a town. The people feel like people. It's just there's a reason why I love pixel graphics in this, because they never get old.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best looking game on the system by any stretch, but
No, absolutely not. It's mediocre at best, but it is still. It's the cartoony level. Like looking at the game manual, you look at the art in the game manual. It looks like it was ripped right out of those what are they called, Ness and Esther comics from Nintendo Power. I know, Alan, you never got
No.
Nintendo Power, but if you did, you know that art style.
okay. I do like just how like big and expressive the sprites are. Like the cows, in particular, just they just look so cute, right? And
Yeah,
the
I love
dog
the
as
cows.
well, and like you can tell what everything is, and you can tell like the little animations that your dude does when he's tired and what have you. It's just very charming to look at this game.
Yeah, I like the graphics.
It's okay.
I like the graphics. I thought like if you look at the pictures in the manual and how stylized and cute like all the little characters are and stuff, like I think they did a pretty nice job translating that over to their pixelized versions. Like
Oh yeah,
it looks good.
definitely. And the season changes and everything, it's all very clear and stark, and you
I mean,
definitely
you can
know
also
that you've
tell what time of day it is by like just how bright, like it goes through like a color gradient to show you like what time of day it is, which I think is pretty
That's
cool too.
true. That is a neat trick. And obviously the weather system as well is all very well animated, if not fucking annoying sometimes. Although
Oh fuck.
I will say that it's
Yeah.
nice that in this game, when it's raining, you can still work outside. Later games in the series, if you work outside during the rain, you will get sick and lose a day of farming.
Oh, that sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
your animals can get
Well,
sick
there-
if they're out in the rain, but
There is
That's-
one thing, like you'll get a hurricane there, and you'll actually be barricaded inside of your house, and all you can
fuck.
do is just go right to sleep.
I
hate
think they were
hurricanes.
random. But dude, I got the first summer I got two hurricanes like within a day of each other. Like it was one day I had a hurricane, and then I went out the next day and kind of like fixed up whatever, and I noticed that some of my crop patches had been like it would take your crops would take damage and like you'd lose like a square here and there. And then like the next day after the first one, I had another one. It was like right after another. I was like, what the fuck? Like, is this a regular thing?
It's Mother Nature
and then I
just
didn't get
bent
any
you
other.
over.
Yeah, and then I got no other hurricanes for the rest of the game. But like, I still had it, and it bothered me. I still had those like. I mean, I could have fixed it, but I didn't. There were like a couple of missing patches of grass in my, and winter will damage it too. But like, there were a couple like. Oh, I guess I'm just never gonna have grass in that one patch. And it
I was
bothers me.
exactly the same. It's just like, because you spread
Yeah.
grass over a 9x9 square, and it's just like, I'm not just getting a bag of seed for that one patch of grass.
Exactly.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna
No
spend
way.
500 gold to put grass back on like one little square. I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh, mate. I mean, do we want to talk? Do we want to talk music? It's kind of.
I can't
sure.
even. I honestly can't remember the music. I know there is. I don't even know if it was Stardew Valley, because my wife was playing that at the same time I was playing this. So
And you were just
I can
enviously
think
looking over at Stardew, like, oh, I wish
yeah,
I was playing that
I
instead.
was, and that's where my first comparison of this came from. Was my wife was playing Stardew Valley, and yeah, I was jealous. It was just, she could carry all of her tools with her. Here, you could only carry 2 tools. And one of the things I kept doing was forgetting to switch from the seeds to the hoe, and I'd throw seeds all over unhoed ground.
The number of times I did that.
Just like, here's 200 gold, pissed away.
Yep.
Right.
Oh God, I
Oh,
feel
man.
it. I feel that pain. I mean,
Again, all you would have needed for that is just a goddamn little square in the corner to tell you what you were holding at the time.
I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That would have saved me so many. Or, I would go and try and water something and I've got my scythe out and suddenly I've taken down that entire square of crops. It happened. It
Oh yeah,
happened.
yeah, I've accidentally done that.
Oh,
That's where I would rewind to. I was just like, yeah, it is what it
that's not
is, but
happening.
I'm just gonna back up and
I wasn't
do
even
that
smart
over
enough to
again.
think of rewinding. I don't know. It's sometimes with these retro games, I sometimes forget that that's an option because my brain just goes into retro game mode.
Yeah,
Just
that's
like, oh,
true.
what else? Might need it for Echo the fucking Dolphin though. But
Oh,
that's
I've been using rewind on Echo almost constantly because no fucking way am I going back up that fucking vent and following that rock down.
yeah.
Oh
Anyway, that is a rant for another day.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, I like the music in this game. I thought it was nice and chill. The winter theme definitely stuck out for me. It's just I don't know. There was just something very calming and very almost ethereal about it. I quite enjoyed that one. But otherwise, the music is what it is. It's not there to
Yeah.
intrude upon you. It's just there to tinkle along away in the background. It's not
Oh
something
yeah,
you
and
would
that's
go on.
It,
I was just gonna say that's a sign of a good soundtrack, especially for a game like this, which is supposed to be relaxing.
Well, exactly. Yeah, if you're not really noticing the music, but you're enjoying the atmosphere, then it's done its job.
I
yeah.
think I would go with I don't hate the music in this game is probably where it's most successful because there's games where the music sits in your brain for months after you've played the game. But this one, like I said, I can't really think of the song, so it must have been so chill that it just didn't register unless I was playing the game.
Yeah, just all
I can definitely
combines.
think of one that just kind of stuck in my mind when I turned it off. It's just like sometimes if I played it enough with the sound down, I would hear it. And it's just like, I played too long.
Ah, well. Speaking of playing too long, I mean, I think we've done really well on a Harvest Moon game. Like,
Oh, there's a lot to talk about in a Harvest Moon game, especially like you guys if you finished it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I do have gripes, and I'll probably go into those a little bit when we sum up. I mean, how you feeling, guys? You ready to put this one to bed? Put this one in the
Oh
in
yeah.
the crops bin, and
Yeah, I think so. Let's just not throw it on the ground.
no, let's not. Yeah, it's been a lot of work this podcast, and if the horse moves, I'm gonna turn it into fucking glue. Brian, why don't you kick us off with your thoughts, feelings, and opinions?
All right. I mean, it's obviously this is more nostalgia based than it is current based because, like I said, I did play this a lot when I was young. Like not a whole shit ton, but I think we rented it like once or twice. Uh, it's a charming game. It is for its time. Like going back to the '90s, this is probably one of the most chill games you could get on the Super Nintendo. This and maybe Sim City. It's got a lot to do. It's fun. It's got definitely got replay value as we've discussed today. So it's a game that you buy and you can play over and over and over again, and never end up with the same result, or unless you become so good at it, you do. Uh, the graphics in the game are timeless. Honestly, it is the what is it the genesis of this entire farming genre, which became huge because obviously they've got a whole bunch of Harvest Moon games, and then I think what are they called? The not RuneScape.
Rune
I can't
Factory.
remember. Rune Factory. That's right. My wife has all those on the 3DS and DS. Um, but it's been done better. Is my problem is that's why I can't go back. And like I said, watching my wife play Stardew Valley while I'm playing this, she's down in a dungeon killing monsters, and then she goes up, waters her crops, and goes to bed. I'm sitting there still trying to get my turnips to grow. I really wish it came with a tutorial. Uh, right off the beginning, I wish like your first crops or whatever would guide you through it. Simply because it would have been nice to know what to do. I didn't know about that video on my first time. I kind of saw it when I restarted. and it explains enough to get you started, but it would have been nice if they did that in game. My first problem I had with this game was in that town, when you start, you get locked into the town to go talk to people. I got stuck there for way longer than I ought to have because I couldn't find the one person I had to talk to move forward, and it was pissing me off. I ended up using a walkthrough to figure out where that person was, and she was in a back room that I just happened to miss on my walkthrough. So once you learn, you learn. It's all good. I I don't really have a whole crap load to say. My one chicken died right off the bat. I mean, we called them coyotes, but the wiki calls them wild dogs. I think that's just basically the same thing. But once you find out about that exploit, you just get rid of all the fencing. It just makes life a whole lot easier. But like Sam said, put your chickens inside. I guess I'll just sum up now and I'll score the game. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to have a lot more to say than I do. I'm going to give this one a solid 8 out of 10. I did enjoy it, just not as much as I probably would have if I was able to get into it a lot quicker.
Wow. I mean, admittedly, that was higher than I thought you were going to go. So that's...
I don't hate this game.
No,
That's the
of
thing.
course.
I don't hate this game. This is a really good game. It's done really well for its time. My problem is it's been done better, and that's what's really the handicap of this game nowadays. And when, like I've always said, when I look at games, I look at them through the 2026 lens or the 2025, whatever we said at the time. And it's just because going back is what we have to do nowadays. We go back to these retro games, and is it worth actually spending the time on this game to play again when you have games like Stardew Valley, you have games like Ruin Factory out there, and you have all these like other indie knockoff games that do the farming that this game presented, and they do it like way better, and they use things like an interface, a clock and stuff like that, so you know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great game.
It is.
That just got done better. That's my only point.
It is hard to go back. Like, I'll agree with you on that one. Even having played like some of the newer ones myself, it's just like, it's quaint, but
some games are easy to go back to. Like they're just timeless, and this game just got outdone by its own genre.
Still a very good score though. Sam, how about you, buddy?
Oh, well, I mean, I really enjoyed my time with this more than I thought I would. I mean, I was already looking forward to playing it just because I wanted to see where this kind of, like now you could say that these games are more popular than they've ever been. I guess especially like COVID time and post-COVID time, like people would just like sink hours into games like this. So I was looking forward to seeing kind of where that all started. And yeah, I really enjoyed myself with it. I don't think I'm going to be purely objective because I really, really liked it. Like I'm not going to, like my tempered score is probably more along the lines of Brian. Like, yeah, it's like an 8 or an 8.5. It's playable, certainly. It's not bad, but there is definitely, a lot of quality of life improvements and, expanding, different concepts or different aspects of this game, in other games. Like there are probably life sim games that are more focused on the, relationship building, and some that are more focused on the money making and that sort of thing. I mean, then there's other Harvest Moon games that are done better than this one, but still, like, I just had such a great time with it, and I really appreciated it for what it was. And still, I don't know, I think the things that started to annoy me were not really the game's fault. I think it was kind of more the way that I was trying to play as much of it as I could, and I did end up finishing it, but like I think I was playing too much of it to the point where like I mentioned, I sold my cows at some point, like almost all of them, and all of my chickens, or almost all of my chickens. I'm sure I would have had a better outcome, or could have gotten a better outcome in the game had I saved them, but I also would have been playing it for several more hours because I would have had to continue to maintain them. So it's not really designed to be, shotgunned before a podcast, but whatever, that's what we do. What was I? Oh, I mean, it's available on Switch Online. That's such a perfect way to play it because, I mean, you know, Alan, obviously you didn't use your rewind, but you know, if you fuck something up or you want to go back and you know, there were times when I'd like walk into town and it's like, oh, there was actually nothing here for me and I just wasted time. I would just like flip the rewind and go back and do something else instead. So, I mean, it's very low stakes. I really don't feel like I, you know, really cheated the game by like going back and doing things the way I wanted to do it. I mean, it is, you know, it is what it is. But also, real quick, I shouted out last on the Half Life episode how you could seamlessly like go back between like Steam Deck and PC. Same with this. I have the, you know, obviously we have a Switch 2. I also have a Switch Lite. So like I would play it on the Switch Lite and then I would save it and then my save would go to the cloud and I could play it on the TV.
Oh, nice.
That's fucking cool. Yeah, that's cool as hell. Like so there's very, you know, accessible ways to enjoy this game and I had a great time. So I'm going to give it a 9. It is
Wow.
it's an excellent game and I think that's no nostalgia glasses. That's just me playing it now. I realize it probably deserves a little bit lower of a score, but man, I just had a good old time farming my
I
farm.
feel like, yeah, I feel like if I got into it like you did, I probably would have bumped it up to a 9 as well because I really do enjoy these games. It's just, yeah, I got caught in my own trap where I tried too many things at once and then this one kind of fell through the cracks.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. But
mm.
your score is probably more in line with what we should objectively give the game, which is, you know, like an 8.5. But it's, I don't know. I liked it.
All
Let's
right.
let's hear what Alan has to say, then we'll come up with our decision.
Well,
Okay.
you know what? I'm very surprised by some of these numbers. I've got to be honest. Like, I managed to talk myself up during this episode, sure enough, but I don't know if I can go as high as either of you. Don't get me wrong. I liked this game. I had a good time playing it. I really did. But I don't have the benefit of having played it before. So there's zero nostalgia. In fact, the only kind of nostalgia that I have for this game is having played other games in the series, which brings us back to Brian's point about, you know, it has been done better, and I have played Harvest Moon games that I had more fun with. Not to say that there's anything wrong with this one. I mean, it kicked this whole thing off. I mean, whether or not it's the progenitor of the entire genre, I don't know. I haven't done the legwork on that, but I could believe it. You know, it is a very, very early example of something that would literally take over the world, and there's a reason for that. You know, this game is, it has no business having as many quirks and as many different mechanics in it as it does for something that's so early in. I mean, what is this, 95, 96, or something like that? You know, they managed to pack a lot into this. The problem is, for me, it's, and again, this is again, like Sam said, probably the way that I played the game, trying to get too much done too early, is that I found myself literally throughout pretty much the last year of the game with nothing left to do. I'd gotten all the upgrades to the house. You know, I was married and on the way to have kids and all the rest of it. I had a fairly stocked barn, and I just kind of gave up on farming altogether because at this point several autumns and winters had gone by, and I had tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds just from farming and the animals and all the rest of it alone. So it's just like there was no need for me to carry on playing this game, and I think that kind of hurt my experience of playing it. It's just that last year or so was a slog to get through because I was literally just waking up, tending to the animals, and basically just going to bed, waking up, tending, because I wanted to see the end of the game, and that kind of took some of the enjoyment off for me. Again, maybe if I'd have paced myself, which I probably would do if I played this again, and actually took the time to smell the roses, to enjoy the game, you know, maybe that wouldn't be an issue. But it is my takeaway from playing Harvest Moon. I mean, visually great, music lovely, you know, everything else about the game I really enjoyed. It's just, it is hard when so many games it's inspired have added so many extra features that I really did miss in this one. So I probably, ooh, I'll probably land at around about a 7.5, I think. And I am being generous with that, but I'll say 7.5.
All right.
All right.
There you go. I say, great game, great game. It's just I'm always wanting more. That's me. And like you said, that it ending after like 2.5 years, I kind of didn't mind, kind of did mind, half and half there. So I don't know, 7.5. It's a good game. Everyone should, if you're at all interested in seeing, like, there are better farming simulators and life sims in general to play. But if you kind of want to go back and see how it all started, easy to play on Switch. Pick it up, put it down whenever you like. It's a great way to play it.
Yeah, I don't think I would go back to this one necessarily. I think only because there are other ones out there. If this were like kind of a flash in the pan, like a one and done, I would definitely go play this again. But knowing that, there's Harvest Moon 64. I mean, that's right there on the Switch Online. I might try that one. There's, numerous ones on the Switch, the Game Boy, the DS, and then there's other franchises, like we mentioned Rune Factory. There's Animal Crossing. And Animal Crossing isn't really the same, but there's that Square Enix one, Harvestella, that came out. There's just a ton of them. So, yeah, I don't know. I won't go back to this one, but I really did enjoy my time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? It's just, as I said, it's been done better. And that's the hill I keep dying on.
Well, but it's like Paper Mario. Like we talked about Super Paper Mario the other day. It's like I went and picked up Sticker Star the next day. It's like I want to keep going. I want to play another one. Like that kind of thing. I don't know. Sometimes there's just those games where just like between the gameplay and the style, it just makes you want more, I guess.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely. Right. Well, I guess that's it. Another episode in the bag. Obviously, thanks always to Sam and Brian for farming with us today. It's gone midnight here, guys, and I am flagging hard.
Oh, yeah.
Linktree/Retrotopia, where you can find all things of Retrotopia, including our TeePublic Dashery. I'd have done all of this in the intro, so I don't know why I'm doing it now, but come and join our Discord and come and chat to us. And yeah, we can promise you a good time with absolutely no time limits. Guys, got anything you want to say?
Don't touch the potion that has the picture of a cow on it. Don't touch it. Don't touch that. That's my cow potion.
Hi there, everyone. We here at Retrotopia couldn't do what we do without the support of our Patreons. And to that effect, we would like to shout out our heroes at the hero tier. So a huge Retrotopia thank you from all of the hosts here to Andrew Wright, Wildcard, Unbuckled Cape, Makeshift Money, Sergeant Ombre, Randy Berridge, BCOS19, J Nasty 15, Chris Kaplane, Jack Datchler, Sir Busts-a-Lot, Big Kid 782, Super Dave, Big Brown Dog, Stud Still Smash, Fallen Snow Kiku, Radmac, Calin Hygus, Old Man Gamer, Raging Demon, Radioactive Hooli, Blue Shell Discharge, The Big Deal, Dylan Jacobson, Game Genius, H, Brother Retro, Shane's World, Ovindali, Brian Spritzer. So thanks as always for your support, guys. It truly means the world to us and means we can keep doing this little thing that we love so much. Game on.